feel really happy right now with the responses I've been getting back from the first video, the part 1. Listen, if you haven't watched it, you're missing out, and you need to go back to the first part 1 to watch it. Honestly speaking, guys, you know, when I wanted to do this the first time, like before I posted the first video, I was really scared. I was thinking, I remember editing the video and then putting the video together, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post it into the fire. Whatever happens. So yeah, and then I am really happy with the responses I got, mainly with the people that were coming to my inbox, because I put my Instagram details at the end of the video. So that was very much intentional. Why did I do that? Because I wanted people, because there's some people who are uncomfortable sharing, like in the comment section, sharing what they've been through, what they have gone through. It's really uncomfortable for people to be vulnerable. I got people with DMing me and sending me messages from Facebook, Instagram, telling me that they've watched my video, they're sending hugs, they're sending love, they've gone through the same, telling me their experiences as well. We got to chat, we got to talk. I love that. Oh my God, that blessed my soul, that blessed my heart, getting all those responses. And you know what? I think it happened like a few hours after I posted the video, and after getting that, I was like, you know what, I did the right thing. For once, I did the right thing. I'm joking. I try. So, but we're not getting into that. Before I posted the video, I prayed about it, because this is a very vulnerable story. It's private. And having to just throw it out there, it's not easy to do something like that. So I had to pray before I did this to God, and I say, God, if this be your will, I pray that you grant me the confidence to do this. And thank you guys for that. I could never thank you enough. The party, yeah. So where was I? Where were we? So we left in the part where I was scared, then like having to go through all that physical abuse that was going on at that time. And then prior to that night, before the physical happened, like prior to that, he had told me all these things. You are nothing. Oh, you never be, you need me, you can never be anyone, because you can't do anything basically without me. Everything you have, I give it to you. Yeah, I had a phone that I was using that he got for me. I was not working, he was providing, he was doing everything basically, and I was just doing nothing at home. So having to hear that as well was the emotional abuse. It was painful having to hear all of that, and I just sitting there watching him saying all of those things to me, and that really broke me, and I started crying, and I was hurt, and yeah. But then it came together with the first story I told you before, with the cousin thing that happened. So all of those things were just coming, and then, do you know when someone says some things about you, like, or says some things to you, for some reason you start thinking, maybe I am nothing. Maybe I am nothing. Maybe he is right. Maybe I can never be anyone. Maybe I need him to be someone. Maybe I can't do this life without him. Maybe this is the best thing I could ever have in my entire life. I know some people would be like, oh, why would you agree with someone who's saying some things like that? I'll give a little bit of my background. My parents died when I was at a very young age. So him telling me all those things and saying those things in my face, and someone I felt like was going to love me and appreciate me and accept me and be there for me and be with me for the rest of my life, someone I vowed to love forever, someone I was married to, say all of those things to me, it really broke a part of me. It broke me, and the damage, that's the damage with abuse. The damage that comes with abuse. It's not just the physical, but the emotional side of it. It damages you within. You lose self-esteem, you lose confidence in yourself, you lose hope. You start thinking, so what am I doing? What am I doing in life? What is going to be the end of me? Like, where am I going exactly? You know, it's bad enough to have you yourself asking those questions, but someone else having to point them. Someone else having to point them. It's just another thing. Like, it's just another thing. So anyway, you see that, and then the abuse happened, and I was so scared. And then the next day, long story short, the next day morning came after the whole abuse happened, and they had to take me and escape. I had to flee, basically. I had to flee. You could call it fleeing, but I had to flee to a relative's house. So that's where I was. I stayed there for I think less than a week. So while I was there, and then they came back with the family. They said, we're sorry, this, that. Okay, so I had to go. Long story short, I had to go back. But during the course of the time that I was staying with this relative, I met this lady. Do you know how amazing it is when you're going through something and God just sends you people who helps you along the way? I love that, and I call those people angels. Like, you just be feeling like you're at a moment where you feel like, what am I going to do? God, what am I going to get help? Who's going to understand me? What am I going to do? And then this lady just came from nowhere. Not necessarily from Norway, but she was a friend of the relative I was staying with. So I met her. She was a psychologist, and she warmed my heart. And then I just ended up opening up to her, and then I told her everything. And then she said to me, you don't have to stay where someone is making you feel that way, because it will damage you, and it will really damage you to the extent that the damage will be suicide. Like, you might end up doing something that you regret, or something that is really bad. The results will be really bad. So then she gave me a number. She was like, oh, you can call the social people that deal with abuse and stuff that could help you. Yeah, okay, I'll just keep it. So I just kept the number. I didn't call it. So I had to go back. Long story short, I had to go back. Then I went back to stay with him. But on the course of the time we were staying together, in the time that we were together, we were staying together, ooh, I was so scared. Do you know when things happen, like when you went through abuse, like, I was traumatized. I think I had PTSD after that. And every time you walk past me, I'll be startled. I'll jump because I'm scared that, oh my God, what if you do it again? I was so scared, and I wasn't happy anymore because I was really scared. And for him, he felt bad. I could see that he felt bad. He felt really bad about what happened, and he was trying, by all means, he was trying to fix it, to fix everything. He was coming home early. He was spending time with me. He was trying to make conversations with me, but for me, it was something died. It felt like something died within me. It was difficult for me to be reciprocative of his actions, of him trying, and all these feelings. You let me down, and it's now difficult for me to trust again. When things like that happen, trust is broken. And I've seen people who've gone through abuse, and the first time it happens, and they feel like that, and then they stay. Of course, a lot of reasons. They stay because they don't have anywhere else to go. They don't know what to do. They stay because they can't go back home. They stay because they've got kids with this person, so they can't go. They can't do anything. I get that. I understand that. But the thing is, you stay, but you're never the same. It's never the same. Something is broken within yourself. Like, you're damaged. You basically stay, but you're damaged. There is no trust. You don't trust anymore. You don't trust this person, and you're not sure. Like you're not sure. Like you don't want to do things that might provoke them, right? You don't want to step on the shoe or step on the toe. You don't want to do stuff and that's not a life. Like that's not a marriage. That's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. I feel like there should be love and stuff. We should be happy and all merry. And I know love is not all about roses and chocolate. No, I know that there are trials, but I don't think things like abuse are the things that you should say, oh, we are fine, but although he abuses me here and now, I can take that. No, because the more that this person do it, the more it would damage you. Like you might not see how much is damaging you because you keep saying, oh, that's how he talks, that's just how he is. Oh, I don't like provoking him, I don't want him some time, after a while he will come back. Oh, that's how he's always been. Even when we were dating, he used to speak to me in that manner. Oh, I got used to it now. It's okay, I don't even take it seriously. Oh, no. Go. No. No. Okay? No. It's not okay. Why? Because every time that it's happening, it's robbing you. It's ripping something within you. And you might not see the result now, but you'll see later. Because your whole personality, your whole character, the whole you get changed. And you won't be the same. You won't be the same. You lose your self-esteem. You lose your confidence in yourself. And that's when you start handling yourself however, because you're allowing all of those things to happen. No. And as much as anyone deserves better, you deserve better. You deserve to be treated with love. You deserve to be treated with respect. And you deserve someone who truly loves and accepts you and understands you. And the problems you have won't be domestic violence or him speaking down on you or emotional abuse or any form of abuse. No. The problems you have is the kind of problem where you're like, what are we going to eat? Who's cooking today? Who's doing the dishes today? You know, small things like that. No big, massive things like that will break people, that makes people feel like they're nothing. No. One day, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to pray. Because I'm at a point where I'm really confused. God, what do you want me to do? What is my next step? I'm not happy and I feel like you need to come through. If you don't come in and fix this, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because at that time I still had some suicidal thoughts. I still thought of it. Like they just don't go away like that overnight. No, they don't. I still had those suicidal thoughts. I was like, God, you need to come through for me. I need you. I need you to come through for me and I need you to help me. So I started fasting. I was fasting and praying for 3 days. I did that. I had my points, like written down my points where I was concentrating on. God, I pray for a breakthrough. I pray that you come and fix my marriage. I pray that you fix this, oh God, that we never experience anything like this ever again. That was my prayer because I didn't believe that God would allow me to divorce, because I believed the verse that says God hates divorce. After my prayer, God didn't say anything like, oh, he doesn't answer they and they. Nope, he doesn't. So after my prayers, I didn't get anything from him, but one particular night. So I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in a pastor's house. Like I was raised by pastors. So every time, like what we do at home, every night, basically every night we have prayers. Like we pray, we sing a prayer song and then we pray, or we read a Bible verse, explain it a little bit, sing a song, and then we pray. So that's how our lifestyle was for as long as I can remember. So it was a good way to raise me with good values on how to pray and how to seek God and all of those things. So when I got married, I introduced the same thing to my ex. So I said to him, let's do that. So we exchanged, since just the two of us. You pray today and I'll pray tomorrow. We're just going back and forth like that. He started praying. He said, Father, I pray that you bless this marriage. I pray that you come in between and you fix our marriage, that things become okay between us. And then while he's praying for our marriage like that, God just started speaking in my head. Like, he started speaking to me in my spirit. It was as loud as daylight. Yeah, it was loud. Basically, it was loud. Yeah. So he started speaking to me, and then he said to me, tell him to stop praying because there's no marriage. Okay. So I thought maybe it was me who was saying that. Do you know you? Like, there are times when you're praying, when you're in prayer and God says something, and you're like, did he really say that? In your head, you think, did he really say it? Oh, it's just me thinking it. So at that time, I thought, am I thinking that? But then he's now praying. Now I'm in my head now. I can't concentrate on why he's praying because I'm in my head. So I'm now thinking, I can't be thinking that because I've just been praying, fasting and praying for our marriage. So it can't be me thinking. But then the voice gets louder. He kept saying, tell him there's no marriage. There's no marriage. And then I start hyperventilating because I'm feeling like I feel overwhelmed now. Like, I'm in my mind is thinking, am I thinking this? And the other side is him just keeps talking. The other side, I'm thinking, am I thinking this? And then he's praying, and I can't tell him to stop praying in the middle of a prayer. And and as soon as he says, Amen, I just blurted it out. I was like, there's no marriage. And then he was like, what do you mean there's no marriage? I said to him, while you were praying, the voice kept speaking in my head, saying that I should tell you to stop praying. There's no marriage. And I believe that was God telling me. Have you ever had God tell you to say something or do something, and then you do it, and then after you do it, you feel stupid? Please, let's be real. I felt really stupid. I was like, oh my God, why did I say that? What if you didn't say it? What if God didn't say it? I felt stupid. So then I started thinking, maybe he's right. Maybe I was thinking about it. Maybe I didn't hear God. Maybe it was me thinking about it. But no, I was just so confused at that time, and I didn't know. But then I was like, you know what? If this is what God really spoke to me, He will reveal it. One way or the other, we'll see it. Then one day I had a dream. So this dream is very much particular because it's the dream that moved me. In my dream, I saw myself dying. And then it seems like someone was standing beside me, a man was standing beside me. So then I said to this man, which I believe was God. So I said to him, why am I dying? And then he said to me, because you know what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. I started crying. I said to this man, I was crying, I said, please save me, I don't want to die. Then he just turned around and then he said to me, if you stay, you are going to succeed in killing yourself and you're going to die. So then I was like, what do you mean, God, that I know what I'm supposed to do? And it just reminded me that you got a number from social people. That lady gave to me, the psychologist lady gave to me, because I just kept it in my phone and I didn't call them. Because I was like, I don't want to get him arrested or anything. So then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna call them. So I called them. And then I had a chat with them and I was talking to them. And then we were talking and then I explained my story to them. So then I told her I don't want him to end up having a criminal record. So That's why I've been really scared. I've been very skeptical about calling you. She was like, no, don't worry about it. We're not gonna do anything that you don't agree to. The reason why I say that, I know some people will be like, why didn't you get him arrested or anything? The reason why I didn't do that, because I still cared about him, and I didn't want to be the reason for a criminal record on his record. I still cared about him, even despite all that had happened. But at the same time, I had to leave. God, this is what God wants for me, and I just go along with that. Yeah, that's a big thing. I know, it's a big thing. It took a lot out of me. So I had to put aside my whole personality, my whole wanting detailed things on the side, my whole me, like the whole thing of me seeing the reality that he's trying, and put it on the side and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna trust you, God, that you did spoke to me and you did say that I should leave, and I'm gonna leave. Yeah, it was more faith and a little bit of doubt. I think we all have that. Yeah, it was more faith. The cup will be like almost full, like a quarter, and then there's about a little quarter where you're like, oh, yeah, you know. So then I was there, and they asked me, so where do you want to go? Like, which refuge do you want to go? I didn't know anyway. So I just said to her, I don't know any place. I'm just new to the country. I don't know anywhere. Long story short, I ended up finding a place to go, like another town to move to. And then the day I left, it was a normal day. It was on a Friday. It was the 4th of June 2021. I never left, and then went to work as usual. And he left around 6. So as soon as he left, I woke up as well. I cleaned the house. I did his laundry. I ironed his clothes. I made dinner for him. And then I wrote a note where I told him I was leaving. But in my note, I just wrote down that I'm going to stay with a friend. Because honestly speaking, I don't want to lie to anyone. When I was going along with all of this, I believe that this is what God wanted me to do. But at the same time, I was saying to myself, if it backfires, I'll come back. So when I wrote that note, in my head, I was just thinking, I won't come back. So I didn't say stuff like, I didn't say any bad things. I didn't say to him, I need space. So I'm just going to stay at a friend's place. When I'm ready, I'll come back. Yeah, I'll speak for myself. I used to want to have a plan B on the side, you know, just in case. Just in case. Yeah, God, just in case. But I cried so bad. At that time, I didn't know why I was crying, but I later got to understand why I was crying. Do you know, sometimes when you just feel like I really need to let out a good cry? I was on the floor crying. I was crying because of the disappointment that it didn't work out. I mean, for every girl's dream, I don't want to lie, most girls' dreams, when you get married, you think this is it, it's going to be roses and chocolate. You see all these other people, relationship goals, marriage life, hashtag my man, not my man, and my man, thank you for my man, you know, and my man, God, thank you for my man, you know, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that, bro. That's what I wanted. Like, that's what I thought was gonna happen. But then the disappointment of not having that, it hit me, and I just couldn't stop crying, and I was just crying. So then I got up, dusted myself up, and I didn't even know where I'm going. And the thing about it was my first time being on a train station. We don't have trains in Zimbabwe. We do have them, but I don't think they work. Yeah, but we don't have that. So I had to walk around asking people. So I had to make 3 changes to get here. So I walk around asking people. I met angels, I met beautiful people that helped me along the way. You know, this is when you know that something is God's will. If God asked you to do something, you don't have to worry about what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, how you're going to get there, what's going to happen. Why? Because He's got all of that taken care of. He's got all of the provision for you already. All you have to do, pack your bag, giddy up.
Vamos, mis amores, dale, mis amores. Vamos, mis amores, dale. Esa es la vez.
You just gotta obey what He's telling you to do. So, provision was made. While I'm walking, and I'm going there, I go here, and then I go in refuge. I got in refuge. The first night was the most difficult. Was a difficult night for me. I cried again, but this time I cried out of guilt. I was crying because I felt bad. I felt bad for the way that I left. I felt bad for not telling him. I felt bad that he was gonna come back home and not find me. I felt bad I didn't tell him. I felt bad that I left him in the dark. I felt like I should have at least told him that I was gonna leave. I felt like I should have at least gave him a heads up or something. And talking, while we were talking, and then I started thinking, this place where I am, nothing is happening. It's a stagnant place. I'm not doing anything. If God doesn't come through for me, if God doesn't do anything, I might just go back.